Man, I almost got 100 points from two players last night in our dynasty.
I know.
55 from Chase, 41 from Burrow. 96 points. Dude, Keith sent me a trade offer this morning
Which league?
in Dynasty.
Yeah.
Not Keith and our keeper.
Yep.
Minka Fitzpatrick for Kyle Hamilton straight up.
Do you have Kyle Hamilton?
Yes.
What?
He got hurt, but it's just a sprained ankle. Like, he might be out for a week or two, but this is Dynasty.
Yeah, dude, Minka's old.
I'm not just gonna.
Older.
He's 27. Kyle Hamilton's 23, and he's one of the best safeties in football. Like, I'm not just gonna trade him away because he's gonna be hurt. Like, I have other guys that I can play.
Correct. That's
Oh man, I've been getting some crap trade offers this year. We're just like, what is wrong with you people?
Well, dude, it's like the one trade offer I got from Keith in the other league where it was, dude, for Derrick Henry at the time, Chuba Hubbard and Xavier Worthy. It's like, what? I'm gonna trade the best player right now in fantasy for two. Like, I can't even. I could start Chuba, but we already know Brooks will be back. So it's like, nah, dude, nah. I'm gonna change something. Put me closer to you.
Oh, I want to be closer to you too.
All right, let's get this show on the road.
Let's get a show on the road.
All right, starting recording in 3, 2, 1. What's going on, everybody? We are live on YouTube right now. Bros and Beers, Friday night with the bros. Quickly, game plan for the night is, Skol, baby. We're going to go over a quick recap of Thursday night's game between the Baltimore Ravens and the Cincinnati Bengals. We're going to go over our bros or starts of the week, talk about the beer we're drinking for the night, and then we're going to do players who could break out and some hot takes. So, Ron, how's your Friday night going? How'd your week go? We haven't talked in a while.
Went good. Felt like it went fast, which is always good. Faster we can get to Friday nights and talk about some football and have some beers, the better I feel. How about you? How was your week?
Had some sick kids, so I missed a couple days of work because of that.
Oh, yes.
And kind of getting
always fun.
Slower at work, but it'll pick up soon. So I need to talk about some football and have a couple beers. We'll be good.
For sure.
Yeah. So why don't
what you drinking tonight?
Oh yeah, I was okay. I'll start her off. Doing some Stella cider. Not a huge cider drinker. I got like Angry Orchard, but yeah, I feel like pinky up or something like that while I drink this. And I got some Summit for later and some Grain Belt Northeast for the rest of the night. How about yourself? What are you drinking?
So I'm going with a Lift Bridge brand again. I have not tried this one, but it's an IPA. Hop Dish IPA.
Yup.
Haven't had it, but it's really good. Just taking my first sip and went down really easy, which maybe is not a good thing, but we'll see how that goes later.
I mean, if you're watching football, it's great.
It's very good.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, it's a really good beer. I haven't tried it yet before. Last week I was drinking Lift Bridge Oktoberfest and switching it up to an IPA again, and yeah, it's really good.
There you go. Last week we had talked about who are Marvel. If you could choose to be any Marvel character, who would you be? So,
I'm out. You said Avenger, actually.
Oh, okay, yes, I did say Avenger. So this week we're going to switch it up. We're going to go with a DC character. It doesn't have to be a Justice League character. Who would be the DC guy that you would choose to be for a day? Let's just say that. You could be for a day.
Be for a day? Well, probably Bruce Wayne, so that I could transfer a bunch of money from his bank account into mine and then go back to live.
No, you can't do that.
Can't do that?
No, because Bruce Wayne isn't a DC character. Batman is.
Oh, sorry.
Bruce Wayne is just a civilian.
Yeah, whatever. My favorite DC character growing up was always the Flash. I think it'd be really cool to run that fast.
Yeah.
So I'll go with my favorite. I'll go with the Flash. How about you?
There's a lot of options, but I think I have to go with Green Lantern.
There is.
Green Lantern's abilities are insane. So
sleeper pick right there.
Sleeper pick. I mean, you could have gone with the obvious of Aquaman or Batman. I thought about Hawkeye.
Superman,
yeah, Superman. Hawkeye's a sweet character too, but I'm gonna stick with
Hawkeye's Marvel. You mean Green Arrow? Green Arrow's DC.
No, what's his name? He's in Titans. His name's Hawkeye.
Is it?
Oh, it's Hawk. It's just Hawk. Sorry, it's just Hawk.
Yes.
Hawk.
Yeah, you're right.
He would have been a cool choice.
Hawk.
Yes. So yeah, I'm gonna stick with Green Lantern. But
show.
Yeah. Let's switch over to a quick recap of last night's game, who you could argue was Superman, Jamar Chase. Tell the people about what happened last night.
Oh, Jamar Chase and his good buddy throwing in the ball, Joe Burrow, went off. I'm lucky enough to have them as a stack in our dynasty league, and they almost scored me 100 points with just the two of them. But Burrow went for 428, 4 touchdowns. Chase went for 11, 264, and 3. They looked unstoppable. Just sucks that the rest of their team didn't really look that great.
Chase Brown.
They lost 35-34. Chase Brown, I do like that Chase Brown, it kind of happened because of an injury, but he's definitely the RB1. And if I have him on my team, which I do have him on a couple of my teams, I'm starting him the rest of the year every week. He's good catching the ball in the backfield, and he actually had it was a subpar average last night, but it was a good. Baltimore's got a good run defense, but he did have some chunk gains where he looked pretty good running the ball. I'm starting him the rest of the week. Besides that, until Higgins comes back, I don't really see anybody else on Cincinnati that's worth starting, maybe besides Gesicki. And I would only start him if I need him to as like a bye week fill-in or injury. If one of the top tight ends goes down. On the Baltimore side, definitely not worried about Derrick Henry. He scored in every game so far this year. He kind of got stuffed trying to running the ball last night. He only ran for 68 yards, but still had 17 touches, and they're going to give him the ball whenever they get inside the 5-yard line because he's a freight train. So he's still the RB1. He's a top 5 player overall this year. You should never take him out of your lineup. Mark Andrews, he had another good game. In the last 4 or 5 games, he scored 14 points or more. He's got 5 touchdowns in that span. I think Isaiah Likely is firmly out of the picture, and Mark Andrews is back as Baltimore's tight end 1. Probably are good starting him as your tight end 1 the rest of the year there. Flowers kind of had an off game last night, only targeted 6 times. Bateman was actually the highest targeted wide receiver in Baltimore with 8, and then Andrews was 7, so which is kind of odd. They didn't really, Lamar attempted 33 passes, but wouldn't worry about him. No. 6 targets, 4 catches, 34 yards. I still think they're going to try to get him the ball a lot because he's good with the ball in his hands after the catch. Bateman actually has looked really good the past few weeks and just in general this year. I know he's he's on his way to having his best year of his career so far. Hasn't gotten
He's
hurt.
been a
I know
solid wide
injuries kind of
receiver
marred
too
his
on that
career so
team.
far this year, but yeah, he's really solid. He was a first round draft pick out of Minnesota.
Mm-hmm.
He is super talented, and I think now that he's healthy and kind of gotten a little bit of a chemistry down with Jackson, he's looking good. Those are kind of the major players and their updates from that game. No major injuries last night besides Kyle Hamilton, which, unless you're playing in an IDP league, doesn't really have a lot of importance to it. That was probably about it. Next week, Cincinnati is playing the Chargers in Los Angeles. It's a good Chargers team, so it's probably going to be another heavy usage week for Burrow, Brown through the air, Chase again. Baltimore playing Pittsburgh, AFC North divisional matchup. That's going to be at Pittsburgh. Could be another game where Baltimore has to show out against a really good defense. So, yeah, a couple good matchups next week for both of them. And then next Thursday, we got Washington at Philly. That should be a really good game. Probably a pretty high-scoring game, but Philly's defense has really picked up the last few weeks and has been
yeah, they're getting
shutting down
healthy.
Everybody, so
They're getting healthy. I saw they released Devin White, but Nakobe Dean has just been a stud, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah, he really has been. But yeah, good game last night. Really enjoyed watching it, like I said, especially when Lamar's been Lamar this year. Henry's been doing really good. Don't have those two, but I got Chase Brown, Burrow, and Jamar Chase, and hopefully they all carry me to wins in the leagues I have them this week. So, yeah. Obviously, you're not going to take Lamar, Henry out of your lineups. Keep Flowers in. Maybe start Bateman. He could start being a flex. Andrews, never take him out. And then Chase Brown, Jamar Chase, and Burrow. I think rest of the year that they got to be locked in your lineups no matter what.
All three of those guys are league winners, easily.
Yeah, right. I
mean,
agree.
We knew about it with Chase, but you could have, like, week 3 or 4 was like the perfect time to buy low on Chase. And Chase Brown, he didn't do anything up until like 2 weeks ago. Burrow has just been a god all year. So,
yeah.
Yep,
agreed.
Ready to get started on Bros of the Week, though?
Yeah, let's get into our bros.
Okay. Yeah, so the way that it works with our Bros of the Week is we try to pick players that aren't like for sure starts every week. So either people that are potential waiver wire pickups or somebody that you could be is either a flex option or maybe you do have like a bottom 12 or like a let's say a low QB1 or like high wide receiver 2 that just has a really bad matchup. We might give you players that have good matchups that you could maybe start over them. But either way, they're like lower tier guys that you are going to have to think about like on bye weeks. Our criteria for what's considered a hit, so quarterbacks are in 6-point passing touchdown leagues, is 20 points or more. Running backs and wide receivers are 15 points or more. And then tight end and defense is 10 points or more. So because of that, we'll go over our last week players and let you know how we did. And then we'll get into this week's players of who you should start. So last week, I did not do great. I was, I believe, 1 of 5. So my quarterback of the week was Joe Flacco. He was a dud. My start of the week was Austin Eckler. He had 19-ish points, so he was a hit. Troy Franklin didn't do anything. He was a dud. Cole Kmet was a dud. And then Washington defense versus the Giants. I think they had like anywhere between 6 and 8 points in my league. So they were a miss. So I was 1 for 5. Ron, how did you do last week?
I was 2 of 5, but I was very, very close on two other ones, which I mentioned to you earlier before we started live streaming that I was going to count as half of a point, but I won't for the sake of keeping our threshold. My QB start of the week was Bo Nix versus Baltimore. Didn't throw a touchdown, but he caught one. He finished with 18.72 points, so he was
close.
Just under a point and a half for meeting his. I had Chase Brown starting. He had 26.7, so he definitely hit his. He had a great week as his first week as a starter. Did really well. Josh Downs, he had 12 points, so again, just
Close.
missed the 15 point. We do 15 for wide receiver, right?
Yep.
Yeah, so just missed the threshold on that, which I was super upset about him and Nix not doing very well. Zach Ertz was my tight end. He had 1.5 points, so I severely missed on that one. That was his worst week he's had in a really long time. And then, where are they? Then I had the Eagles for my defensive start of the week, and never mind, I was 1 of 5 because they just barely missed as well because they had 9.
But you were close on 3, and other people could maybe consider that a hit, but just by our threshold.
Yeah, I mean, right. I mean, they were serviceable for sure, but yeah, just to try to meet our threshold that we like to hold, I missed just barely. I was 1.5 on Knicks, 3 points on Downs, 1 point from defense, and Ertz was just a straight up miss all the way.
Yeah,
but I still think getting close is respectable, so I'll take it. I'm not too upset about how I did.
No. And I should mention our goal is 3 for 5 every week, so that's 60% of the time is right. That's might be unachievable because it is gambling, and if I could tell you I was 60% of the time right, I'd be making a lot more money than I do. But that's our goal, is 3 for 5. So
if somebody told me every time you gamble, you're gonna win 60 to 65% of the time, I'd be like, well, why aren't I doing it more?
I'd quit my day job then.
Right.
I'd go work on Wall Street. But let's start with our current Week 10 starts of the week, our Bros of the Week. Ron, who is your quarterback that people should start?
My quarterback bro is Caleb Williams this week. He is going up against the New England Patriots. The Patriots aren't a good team. Caleb Williams has played well against bad teams, and I think he's got another shot to put up good numbers this week against a bad team. New England is 22nd in pass yards per game at just under 225, and they are 21st in points allowed per game at 24. He's put up a couple of duds after their bye week. I think he's going to have a bounce-back game this week against a bad team. And like I said, he's played well against bad teams. I think he will be able to do that again this week. And if you're looking for somebody to start, put in Caleb. He should have a good game.
I sure hope so, because I'm starting him in our Superflex League, and I need a victory this week.
Yeah.
So, go Caleb Williams. My quarterback
Who's your QB bro of the week?
Yeah. My quarterback bro of the week is Mr. Samuel Darnold for the Vikings. Playing against the Jaguars, who could be starting
Wait. Who's your quarterback this week?
He plays for the Vikings, Sam Darnold.
Oh, does he?
Yeah.
So, holler.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like anytime we mention the Vikings, we just have to do this goal chant. So, my shirt's pretty awesome too.
Yeah, buddy.
Do you know what this is from?
God of War.
Yeah.
Ragnarok.
Well, this is just the regular God of War, but yes. Kratos. So, anyways, Sam Darnold is going up. People, they probably don't even care about this, but hey, we got to mention this sort of stuff because we're nerds. So, Sam Darnold's going against the Jaguars. They will be without Trevor Lawrence, so Mac Jones will be starting. But the Jaguars give up the second most passing yards per game, the third most passing touchdowns, and they've only had 2 interceptions on defense. So there's a great chance that Darnold has like 2 or 3 touchdowns and no picks. The Jaguars also give up the third most fantasy points to quarterbacks, and in Darnold's last 3 games, he's had 27, 22, and 19 points in 6-point per passing touchdown leagues. Fire up Darnold as a low QB1, and hopefully he can help win this week. Who is your bro of the week for quarterback, Ron?
We did quarterbacks already.
Oh, I'm sorry, running back. Who's your running back?
My running back bro of the week, Chuba Hubbard. Just signed a 4-year extension this week. Brooks was activated from IR, but he is questionable going into the game, even though he's practiced fully for 2 weeks in a row. And I think Carolina is going to continue to lean on Chuba. He has been their best offensive player this year. And it would be silly for them not to continue to use him. And I think make him the focal point of their offense against the Giants. They are last in the league in yards per rush, 29th in yards per game with 142.6. They are not good against the run. Chuba has pretty much been their 3-down back all year. And they're going to need to lean on him with Young at quarterback. I think he's going to get a lot of touches this week. Obviously, they like him. They think he's going to be a good player, or they wouldn't assign him to a 4-year extension. And as long as Brooks is still out and they're easing him into whatever role he's going to play in this offense, Chuba is going to get the bulk of any touches that are going to be given to running backs, and he's got a good matchup this week out there. So yeah, I say start Chuba Hubbard against New York Giants this week. Who is your bro running back of the week?
My bro running back is actually, he plays in the same game. Playing in the same game, and that's Tyrone Tracy for the Giants. We should mention that they will be playing in Germany Sunday morning. So if you have any last-second injuries, check your lineups really early. It's 8:30 Central Time, 6:30 a.m. Western Time. The Carolina Panthers give up the most rushing yards, most rushing touchdowns, and the most fantasy points to running backs. Like, that's just a recipe for success. Tracy, he just recently, like the last 3 weeks, has overtaken Singletary as a starting running back. It's just all signs point to him having a stud game. So look to him, and hopefully Neighbors as well. They should be the focal point of the offense. Yeah, start Tyrone Tracy. Who is your...
I got both of those running backs on one team that I'm starting this week.
Same here. I have them in Dynasty.
Yeah, I hope they do very good.
In our IDP Dynasty League? Dude,
I know you do.
I'm stacked at running back in that league. I got Tracy, Hubbard, Breece Hall. Brian Robinson's all right, but those 3 right there, dude, studs.
You're stacked at running back, and I'm stacked at wide receiver, so...
Me too. My defense just needs... I need some D-line. Nobody wants to trade me D-line. I've been, trying to overpay, and nobody will do it.
Well, screw everybody.
Oh, well.
Looks like that might have to... Oh, wait, I was going to say you should draft one, but...
I have no picks. But
all your picks are gone.
But all of the picks I traded were for young people, so... Except for Goff. I traded a first for Goff, but dude, he's still only 30 as a quarterback, so...
Yeah, and
That was to
he's on
you.
the best offense in the NFL. He's only 30. He's a pocket quarterback. We know pocket quarterbacks last a lot longer than mobile quarterbacks. So yeah, it
Realistically,
hurt to trade him away. But I feel like I have Bryce Young, I got Flacco to stream, and I think Justin Fields is going to be the starter in Pittsburgh sooner rather than later, and I got him too. So
yeah,
I feel like I'm all right, and I got
yeah.
Burrow and Chase to carry me. So,
You still have your first round pick.
but
So, who is
yeah,
your?
and I can. Oh, yeah, we're good.
Yeah, who's
I
your?
digress.
No, you're good. Who's your wide receiver bro of the week? Or we could go over running back again
My
because I like doing that. Sorry, continue.
No, I'll go with
Che-
my wide receiver bro of the week. My wide receiver bro is going to be a stack with my quarterback, and it is Rome Odunze. As I stated earlier, New England has had trouble defending the pass this year, and Odunze has been getting used more and more as the year goes on. He's had 13 targets the last 2 weeks. I think he's getting more comfortable in the offense. I think they have DJ Moore and Keenan Allen, but I think he's the most talented wide receiver on that team. I think he's been getting eased into the playing time because he's a rookie, and I think the more he gets comfortable with the playbook and shows like his chemistry with Caleb, they're going to continue to involve him more and more, especially since DJ Moore, I don't know what's going on with him, but he seems like he doesn't really care and like doesn't want to be there. I'll be the first to admit I thought DJ Moore with Caleb Williams was going to have a really good year, and I feel like he's just been crap in the bed really badly, and I think Adunze is going to be the benefactor of that because he's a rookie and he wants to play hard, and going up against a bad New England team this week, he's got a good matchup, and I think he'll thrive because of that. So, my wide receiver, bro of the week, Rome Odunze, stacked with Caleb versus New England. Who is your bro wide receiver of the week?
My bro wide receiver of the week is another rookie. He plays for the 49ers, and that's Ricky Pearsall. Playing against the Buccaneers this week. I think Jennings is actually going to play. CMC's back, so hopefully with CMC back, it could take a little bit of pressure off of the passing game. The Buccaneers in general, though, they give the third most passing yards, tied for third in passing touchdowns, and the sixth most fantasy points to wide receivers. It's only his third game playing, but I think this is the game where he overtakes Jennings as wide receiver too. I think I'd have to look. I want to say his first week he had 4 targets, and last week he had 5. Five the first week, and 4 the last week. 76% of the snaps his first week, only 59% of the snaps last week. But in general, the more time you play, the more healthier you are, especially as a first-round pick. He's due. So
Yeah.
Ricky Pearsall. I'm actually starting him as my technically my wide receiver too. We'll see if Brian Thomas is back. But in this one league, I have DJ Moore. I'm starting Pearsall over DJ Moore right now because I do not trust him. I have Nico Collins. He's hurt. Brian Thomas Jr. He's hurt.
It's probably playing with his backup quarterback.
Yeah. I mean, if Thomas Jr. is in, I might start him over Pearsall. But
I think he'll be in. He played last week through the same injury, so I don't know. And Minnesota's secondary is not the greatest.
it's not. No. So, yeah, if you need a flex play, and Pearsall's not a bad option this week. So,
Right.
who is your tight end bro of the week?
My tight end bro of the week is Jonnu Smith versus the Los Angeles Rams. He has seen 6 or more targets in 4 straight weeks. The Rams are giving up 225 pass yards per game, which is 23rd in the league, and they allow 24.3 points per game. That's 22nd. Tua's back again. Is this his third week back?
Second.
Second week back?
I thought so, yeah.
He's got Tua back. Waddle got banged up last week, but I know he's going to play. Hill just popped up on the injury report where he actually missed practice today with a wrist injury.
This is his third week. He's played 2.
It is his third? Okay.
Yep.
That's what I thought, but I mean, it is what it is. Hill missed practice today. He's got a wrist injury, so his status is in doubt for Sunday. So Smith could see an uptick in targets. He's played really well this year. I think they're going to continue to feed him the ball because when they have gotten him the ball, he's done good things with it. I don't think he's really been scoring a whole lot of touchdowns, but for PPR, I mentioned 6 or more targets in 4 straight games just to give you exact numbers. Last week he had 5 receptions on 46 yards, 4 receptions for 20 2 weeks ago, but before that it was 7 for 96 and a touchdown, 5 for 62, so he's pretty much putting up around 10 a game, which right now in a thin position and is good, and I know that he's not really owned a lot in a lot of leagues. He's a talented guy. I think, especially if Hill misses this week, he's going to be used a lot more than normal. And Rams can put up points, and Miami might need to pass the ball a lot to keep up. So, Jonnu Smith versus the Rams is my tight end bro of the week. Who is your tight end bro of the week?
Yeah, so I almost picked Jonnu Smith for my tight end, but I'm going to go a different route, and that's TJ Hawkinson versus the Jacksonville Jaguars to complete my stack.
What team does he play for?
The Minnesota Vikings. Oh my god, we should do every time they do this goal instead of doing this. We could go. Ready. Oh. Never mind, don't do that. It'd be easier with a beer, but you know what I mean. That would probably...
It was worth a shot.
It was worth a shot. So yeah, TJ...
Might be more fun doing it that way.
It would be. We can do that maybe off camera. But yeah, TJ Hawkinson versus the Jaguars. I already mentioned that they are one of the worst passing defenses in the league. So yeah, second most in passing yards, third most in passing touchdowns. They give up the 10th most points to tight ends. This will be his second week coming back since off-season surgery. In his first game, he only played 45% of the snaps and still saw 4 targets. There's a great chance that both of those increase. I wouldn't be surprised if he plays closer to 75% of snaps and maybe 7 targets this week. Yeah, start up TJ Hawkinson versus Jags. Who is your defensive start? Your defensive bro of the week?
My defensive bro is Detroit versus Houston. Now, Houston is 6-3. Got CJ Stroud. Last week, they looked pretty rough. God, who did they play last week? Against the Jets. Jets have a good defense. But so do... The Jets have a really good secondary. They're known for their really good secondary. Sauce Gardner, DJ Reed, those guys. Detroit also has a really good secondary. They have 2 really good safeties, a couple young, talented corners. Possible that Nico Collins is out again this week, coming back from that hammy, who we all know is CJ's favorite target. Stefan Diggs, obviously out for the year. Tank Dell is hurt now. I think he's got like a back injury and he's questionable this week. He got Dalton Schultz. I mean, Joe Mixon can't
do everything.
He can't carry that whole offense by himself. Yeah, right. And CJ last week was 11 for 30. Didn't even pass for 200 yards. Sacked 8 times.
Oof.
And
woof.
I mean, I would argue that Detroit probably has a better.
When Detroit just traded for Zadarius Smith. I don't know if you said that.
Zadarius Smith, exactly right. Yeah, they just got Zadarius Smith. They got a good pass rush. I think, Houston's at home, but I think Detroit goes in there and rocks the Texans. Their offense is the one that's been getting talked about because they've been putting up like 40 points a game the last 3-4 weeks. But I think their defense is they're gonna dominate this weekend too with the struggling Houston offense. So I think Detroit versus Houston this week, they're my defensive bro of the week. Who is your defensive bro of the week?
Yeah, so I hate to say it because we are Vikings fans, but my defensive bro of the week is the Chicago Bears versus the New England Patriots. It's the lowest over-under of the week at 38.5. 2 rookies starting, so might not be a lot of offense. I know you have the Bears players starting. But as far as the Bears defense, the New England offense, they've been sacked 31 times in 9 games. Actually, I think they've only played 8. I think they had a bye. But either way, it's tied for second in the league. Tied for first with 7 lost fumbles. So there's a good chance that Chicago can force a couple turnovers this week and have a low-scoring game, which equals a lot of fantasy points.
For sure.
Yeah.
Could have even went with a triple Minnesota stack and done the Vikings, but
yeah, but everyone's starting them. I thought about it.
I know
they've actually only played.
They are the number 1 scoring defense right now. So
yeah, I thought about it, but I was like, who's not starting them? If you own them, you're starting them, and they're probably not rostered. They're rostered in a decent amount of leagues. So
I just checked, and Sleeper they're rostered in 88% of leagues and started in 81. So yeah, it's not.
Yeah.
It's not a mystery that against Jacksonville this week, who's already been really bad this year, starting Mac Jones,
which
it's no-brainer.
Realistically, the Bears are owned in 75% of leagues, so I should have dug a little deeper probably. But whatever. I could pick one real quick if we wanted to.
No.
Okay. Works for me.
I don't think it's that, yeah.
Let's get to breakouts for last week.
Oh, God. Do we have to?
It'll be real fast. Mine was a complete dud.
Yeah.
I had... I don't even want to say.
Well, I don't either. We both totally whiffed on this.
It was a bad week. That's okay. I had my breakout was Adonai Mitchell. I think he had 1 catch. So, complete fail. Who was your breakout for the week?
I was Xavier Worthy, who in PPR leagues finished with -1 points. I should know because I started him in one of those PPR leagues.
Whoa.
Screw him. That sucked.
That was weird. I don't know what just happened.
Yeah.
Sorry about that. Xavier, I was trying to do a sound and it just crashed my Discord, so that's cool.
Oh yeah, totally.
I was gonna do the
yeah, this is Xavier Worthy last week.
Yeah, just a
they're like, "Oh, where's Xavier Worthy?" He's like,
Is he even playing?
"I'm nowhere." Yeah, right. 2 targets, 0 catches, 0 yards. He had 2 carries for -10 yards. He finished with -1 points. Terrible,
You
terrible,
you
terrible.
haven't.
But breakouts, breakouts are,
They're guesses.
since we haven't prefaced what they are, they are basically picking somebody who hasn't performed very well this year and kind of going off matchup and thinking that this could be their week where they finally break out and have a good week. Both of us took big swings and big misses.
And I don't think we really have a
But
criteria on how many times we want to hit. It's breakouts are just more so for fun. They're just
yeah,
guessing.
definitely.
So yeah, who's your breakout for this week?
My breakout bro for this week
Your broke out.
is going to be Rico. My broke out. Wow. It's a good one. My broke out is Rico Dowdle versus Philly. Tough matchup, but I think with Dak out, he's on IR. They just came out with a
can I
report
say
that
one
his
thing?
hams. Yeah.
I didn't realize who you picked him earlier. He's coming off a week where he had 22 points.
Did he really?
Yeah, last week.
I didn't even realize that.
Yeah.
Well, he'll do it again.
Yeah, do it again. Double him up.
I didn't realize that.
That's okay.
I
I don't know.
So
it was 1 week, so.
double breakout.
Wait.
I don't know. I think
is he going to go for 44 then?
Oh, wow.
I mean,
we ain't talking about you.
So
we ain't talking about you, my Chase here.
there is. I still like to pick. There's two kind of breakouts though. Is like somebody who hasn't done anything, they could break out for like 13, and then you got somebody who like Dowdle's like, all right, they had even like 15, and like, all right, they're gonna break out for 35. Maybe Dowdle like complete. It's a coming out party, dude. He just
Maybe
dumps on
could
the
be.
Eagles.
Yeah. I mean, Ezekiel Elliott is hot garbage. He will never do anything in the NFL ever again. Dak. Dalvin Cook is washed.
Cooper
Rico
Rush
Dowdle
is
Dowdle's the best running back on that team. Leaps and bounds. Dak is on IR. Cooper Rush, he's a serviceable backup, but he's still a backup for a reason. He's played well when they've needed him to play, but I still think they're gonna need to lean on the run more than they have needed to in the past season or two. And I also think he's gonna be utilized a lot when the short passing game, quick passes, screens, stuff like that. I think they're going to need to do that to have any luck against Philly, to try to move the ball on the field. Philly's been hot as F. Their defense has been playing really, really well the last few weeks, and I think to try to counter that, they're going to need to lean on Rico this week. And he had a big week last week, and maybe they'll continue to lean on him like they did last week, and he'll have another big game. He'll break out and have more points than he did last week. That's the breakout part of it. We'll call it that.
That is
more
still.
Let's see what he did last week, just so that we can have an idea.
I would say if he gets 25 or more this week, I'll consider that a breakout.
Okay, last week he had 75 yards rushing, 5 catches, so that's 12 and a half, 32 yards. That's
he had 21.
15.7 plus a touchdown, 21.7.
Yep.
So I'd say 25 or more this week. That's the breakout.
I'm cool with it.
Let's go with that.
Yeah, I'm cool with it. My breakout.
Who is your broke out of the week?
My broke out, you could argue, is even a hot take, but it's Bryce Young. Looks like he's starting to create some chemistry with 2 rookies in Xavier Legette and Jatavion Sanders, I think is how you say his name.
I believe so.
I could be wrong in that. Jatavian Sanders. It's a pretty decent matchup against the Giants. It is in Germany, so odds aren't in his favor. But he's looked better since they benched him. And if there's a game to come out, it's against the Giants. So, look, we'll talk about it next week. We'll see. What were we going to say?
I agree. I think if there's a game for him to break out and kind of build some confidence and continue to build on the couple performances he's had, it's this week against a not so good New York team. Mm-hmm. They got a big win last week against New Orleans.
Yeah.
It's probably why Dennis Allen got fired, because they lost to the Panthers, even though it was their seventh loss in a row. But yeah, I think Bryce Young is a good one. I think this might be the week he
puts it all together.
Mm-hmm.
So.
On to our hot takes. Hot takes.
Yeah, how'd you do last week for your hot takes?
Oofda. Let's just say that. I picked that Denver was going to upset the Ravens at home. They were 9.5-point underdogs. Baltimore covered, and Denver was not close. My second one was Bo Nix was going to have over 300 total yards and 3 total touchdowns. I think he came close in the yards. He scored 1 touchdown, which was a receiving touchdown, but again, wasn't close with that. But hot takes are hot takes. Mm-hmm. They're supposed to be outlandish and crazy. So, how about you? What were yours?
Yeah, I had Tampa Bay upsetting Kansas City. I was close, but no cigar. 300 touchdowns, 300 yards and a touchdown. Wow. Oh my God! 300 yards, 3 touchdowns, and an interception for Baker, which he had 200 yards and 2 touchdowns. So not close on that. Adonai Mitchell, I had him coming alive for 680 and a touchdown, and he had nothing. So whiffed on both my hot takes. That's okay. They're hot takes. I mean, we should preface
like
that.
I said, they're supposed to be outlandish
they're fun.
And crazy.
They're fun. Like, just something to talk about every week. Of like, dude, especially when we do hit. Like, you actually called that. Sweet.
Right.
So yeah, this week.
Yeah. So
I think you should
mine start. This week. Mine do well. I guess one of mine is like half of a game, but it's not really an upset, but kind of is. According to Vegas, it wouldn't be. But the first one is James Conner running for 150 yards and 2 touchdowns. He could really be a candidate for a breakout too. He's been pretty consistent with having like a really good floor for running backs, where he's been putting up like 15 points a game, like super consistently, besides like 1 week where he had like 4 or 5. Hasn't really had like a breakout game though. Mm-hmm. New York is not super good against the run. I think he runs for 150 yards and 2 touchdowns this week, and I think with the Jets' pass defense and how good it is, they're going to need to lean on him a lot this week. So yeah, first one, Connor, 150 yards, 2 touchdowns. My second one is welcome back, Christian McCaffrey. I think he's going to go for 100 total yards and a touchdown. And the 49ers will beat Tampa Bay 31-27. That second part, not technically an upset. Like I said, I think Vegas has got.
It's a 1.5.
San Francisco was like. On ESPN, I saw San Francisco's like a 6-point favorite.
6.5.
Yeah,
wow.
I can double check that, but
so, give or take 6.
Okay, let me see real quick.
Yahoo has it at 6.5. So.
Yeah, San Francisco is 6.5, and they're away. And Tampa Bay is like not even that bad this year. with considering all the injuries they've had on like the offensive side of the ball. I saw that and thought that was crazy. I definitely thought 49ers would be an underdog, but especially being away. But regardless, the hot take part of this is McCaffrey's coming back from that the Achilles injury. He's missed all year up until this point, but I think they're going to need him to have a big game, 100 total yards and a touchdown.
Mm-hmm. Both are believable. I mean, wouldn't be surprised if they happen next week.
Normally, like this isn't a hot take at all. Everybody would be like, "Dude, it's McCaffrey. Of course he's going to get 100 total yards and a touchdown." But he hasn't played all year.
No,
and we don't know how he's going to get. We don't know how he's going to get used. We don't know how.
He could be on a snap count.
Who knows?
Yeah, I hope not.
Snap count.
I think Brad's playing him.
I
hope he gets 4 points, but for your hot take, I hope it hits.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
How about this? With the 49ers winning, your hot take could be the score. 31-27. Could
be. I like guessing the score. It's fun.
I
had 1 week where I guessed the score exactly, but the teams were wrong.
Yeah.
I don't remember which one that was, but...
Hot takes are supposed to be fun. That's really what they're all about.
Yeah, I agree.
It's just like...
All right, what are yours?
So I got Denver.
I didn't mean to cut off your thought.
Oh no, I wasn't. I had nothing good to say. I was just rambling.
Don't sell yourself so short.
I'm a tall guy, so we're good.
You have good stuff to say. Good one. Oh wait. That was a really good joke. All right, go ahead.
People watching this are like, wow, these guys are special.
Losers.
Yeah.
7 weenie. Sandlot reference.
I have the Broncos upsetting the Chiefs for the Chiefs' first loss of the year. 35-32. I think Sutton's going to have a big game. Nix will have a pretty good game. Javonte Williams should be good. Yeah, it could be even lower scoring than this because I know Denver's defense is really good. Kansas City's defense is really good. So I'm probably overshooting on the score. Like a more realistic score is like 14-17. But yeah, so that's my first hot take. My second hot take. This is like hot lava. Not really, but Daniel Jones throws for 250 yards, 2 touchdowns, and another score on the ground, and finishes as a top 5 quarterback this week, which after seeing what Burrow did last night, it's, maybe like top 8 is more realistic, but it's a hot take, so we're going with top 5.
I was going to say, Lamar and Burrow are like already set in the top 5. They're probably going to finish like 1 and 3 or 4 this week, so there's like 3 openings left in the top 5.
We're keeping it hot, top 5, and it's a hot, spicy take.
Super hot.
Super hot.
That's on fire.
Yeah.
Super hot.
Super hot take. All right, so that's our hot takes.
That's what we do around here.
When it comes to Bros and Beers, we have multiple social medias that we post to quite often. We got a Discord chat, Twitch, X, YouTube, which we're live on right now. We've got Instagram and TikTok, which we post videos to as well. If you are in our chat, you can ask live questions, and we will answer them as we talk. Otherwise, if you see our YouTube videos, like and comment on them, and subscribe to our channel to get notifications on anytime we post anything or go live. On any of our platforms, if you comment fantasy football related questions, we'll either comment with our answer or we will talk about it in our videos. So, Friday night we're always live, and we try to go live and post videos once or twice a week besides that. But, until next time, everyone, have a good weekend, have a good night. Skol Vikes!
Skol, baby!
Boom. All right, we are still live on YouTube.
Live on on YouTube.
I'm gonna take a drink.
Whoever is watching, thank you very much
Thank you very much.
for listening to our nonsense for as long as you did, and now they're not anymore.
Right, these two buffoons. What do you think? Should we go on Twitch? And
I'm cool with going on Twitch for a little bit.
Let's just F around and drink some beers.
That's fine. Cool with that.
Okay, I'll switch over.